Good morning, everybody. This is Sunny Bharati, and today I'm here to tell you a short summary of the very interesting story named The Happy Prince, which is composed by Oscar Wilde. So, this happy prince was not happy because he could see all the miseries from where his statue was erected. And one day, a swallow was flying in the sky and came at the basement of that statue where the statue was erected. So the swallow noticed that prince is not happy, and he asked the reason why he's not happy. So the prince said that I could see miseries and the suffering of the poor man who cannot feed himself and his family, uh, and still the happy prince cannot help them, though he is having all the precious thing. Like his statue was made up of, it was plated with the gold, and his eyes were made up of sapphire, and there was one tiny red rebel that was very precious, which was embedded in the sword of the happy prince, and still he cannot help them. So the happy prince asked to the swallow to help them. First, the happy prince told swallow that, can you please take the red rebel from his sword and give it to the woman who is unable to feed his child, who is having a high fever. So the little swallow goes and help the woman as told by the happy prince. When the swallow returned, happy prince was sad, and he told that I could again see a man who is trying to write a story, but he cannot compose it because he is feeling so cold, and to shelter himself he cannot burn the wood also because there is no wood that can be burned to that so that he can feel the heat and can compose his the story. But so the swallow, the happy prince again told that swallow, you should take my one of eye which is made up of sapphire and give it to that man so that he can shelter himself. But swallow didn't agree, said that you will quite be blind. But still happy prince forced him, and the swallow took that sapphire and give it to leave on the table of where the man was writing or composing his story. So when he saw it, he was very happy, and he said that I got admired by any good people, and he was very happy so that he can now manage to compose his story. Now, when he returned back to the happy prince and talked about the journey, he talked about the journey when he was helping them. So happy prince again said that I could see again a small match girl who dropped her matches by mistake in the gutter, and now she'll be scolded by his father. So again, the happy prince asked to the swallow that that swallow can take out the another sapphire, which is the another eye of happy prince. But swallow disagreed with this because if the swallow would take out the sapphire, the leftover sapphire, the prince will become totally blind. He was not agreeing with it, but by the force of the happy prince, again the swallow have to follow him, and he take out another sapphire of the happy prince and give it to the small girl, and she was very happy in the end. Then when he came back, the small swallow, swallow told to happy prince that now I cannot leave you alone because now you are totally blind. I'll be with you. But the happy prince told that now you should fly over because the winters is coming and you will face a lot of problem. But still, the swallow didn't leave the happy prince alone, and she was with him throughout the winter and was giving all the things which he saw in the town, and telling to the happy prince that what is happening, as he was now the blind. One day what happened, now it was a time of frost where these little bit snowing was there, and the swallow cannot tolerate this much cold, because she's not made it for. She was leaving this place and going to the is and was going to the place where there was sunlight, but still, because of the happy prince, she stayed there, and now she is facing a lot of trouble due to the snow. And at last, the swallow told that now it's the time to say goodbye. Now I'm going to a very sound sleep. And by saying this, the swallow kissed the happy prince, and she fell down at the downside of the statue, and there was a slight sound of cracking, and that was the sound of unhappy. That was the sound of the cracked heart of the happy prince. Now, when the people noticed about that, now the statue is being shabby and it is very dirty, and all the precious things is not there now. So they decided to melt it in a furnace. And when they started this process, they noticed that there is a small bird, and they throw it, a small bird which is dead, and they throw it. Now, when they were melting the statue in the furnace, they noticed that there is a hard made of lid that could not be melted. So they thought it is a useless substance. So they threw it on the hip of the dirt, where the small little bird was there. Now, this was the end, and the God sent his angel, so that angel to bring the most precious thing in the town, and that was nothing, that was the part, the heart of the happy prince and the bird. So the angel took both of them to the paradise of the god, and the god declared them the charming creature they have made, because you can see that it was kind of emotional story where the swallow was not ready to leave the happy prince alone, and she was there to help him, and no matter what the situation was there. And that was the end of this story. Thank you. Have a nice day.